Hey, how you doing, folks? This is Sam Estes, the producer and director of ADD Reality Time. I had to think about it again. It's been a while since I've done one, and kind of hard to put together enough to talk about, which I usually don't put together anything to talk about because I usually tend to ad-lib it, make it up as I go. So that's usually what's the case, but today it's a lovely day to walk the dogs. Very distracting, so I might drift around from subject to subject, but try to stick to one. And the subject I'd like to try out today is what are you doing with your ADD kids? Do you even know that they have ADD? Do you take the school's diagnosis of it, even though they're not doctors, they're just teachers? They tell you your kid's got ADD, and then they want to pump them full of drugs from the school nurse. Props to you, school nurses. Nothing bad against you, but I don't think chemicals are going to solve anything. So understanding fixes a lot of stuff. It doesn't repair, quote unquote, the ADD, because it's really not a break, but it is something that makes us a little different. So learn to deal with it. When I was growing up, my parents had a hard time figuring out what was going on with their kid. It's like you could have called my nickname C minus, D plus, which is usually what grades I was getting in school, unless I really liked the subject, then I got like A's and B's. But yeah, stuff like history didn't kick in till later. Social studies bored the crap out of me. But I'm a changing machine, so there's a lot of stuff that I really wouldn't have mind going back and taking again with more understanding teachers. So at least back then they didn't pump us up full of drugs. They just called us daydreamers, sent us to the principal's office, and principal's office didn't know what to do, so they called home saying the kid was bad, which would be me. I wasn't being bad, I just was being me. And wonderful old me usually got my ass kicked because I was a bad boy at school. So really it's that's shit us ADD people got to deal with, when we're growing up. Now that we're old, people just say, pay attention, blah blah blah. Can't really do nothing about it. Bosses might fire you because you're not following orders to the T or whatever. We try to, but if you assign us a shitty job, chances are we ain't gonna stick around much. So find something we're good at and keep us in it. Anyway, the thing about the school calling home and getting me in trouble. By the time I was 8 years old, I learned how to self-medicate myself without the harsh chemicals, without all the hype and showbiz that you get from ADD drugs. I resorted to marijuana. Yeah, you heard that right. 8 years old, smoked marijuana regularly. And kind of funny part is I was one of the last kids in the class to try it out. So 8 years old, huh? You got kids? You think that they're too young for that? Think again, huh? I just want you to know that kids are not dumb, and that was back in the 70s when I did it. Actually in the 60s. So things were hunky-dory in the 60s, and we had 8-year-old potheads. Imagine today, I'm not causing you to question if your kid's good or not. If a kid's smoking weed is a hell of a lot safer than, you know, going out and robbing stores and stuff. So, you know, beating people up. So it's a fair trade-off, but it's still illegal. So you don't want your kids to get in trouble, and you kind of want to discourage it because, let's face it, that stuff is it dumbs the mind up some. It also takes away a lot of the issues that you have to deal with about people not understanding you. So it's good here, it's bad there, it's natural. You know, a lot of people don't know that about me. You know, I had to keep that a secret for a long time. But yeah, I was from when I was 8 till I was 22. 22 being the magic number, because that was 1982 when the urinalysis came out for the government, and I just decided I would stop, because it's another thing we could do. We could just kind of quit, you know, quit smoking, quit doing this, quit doing that, and it's not really quitting, it's just changing our lifestyle. But yeah, so went from being a pothead, regular pothead, to not being a pothead. Now I'm with reality, and gotta wait for my dog here, taking the magical lap. You'll see her coming in the background. But yeah, 8 years old, pothead, Southern Cal. Hey, here comes Doggy. Pretty cool how she does it. But yeah, it's we went to the beach, listened to a lot of that 60s and 70s music, smoked a lot of hooter, and actually loved it. You know, I think I've turned out okay. I mean, there's going to be people who are going to hate. Haters will hate, you know. But a lot of the people who don't like marijuana are probably the people who are drinking their asses off every night. So, you know, pot calling the kettle black, whatever you want to call it. You know, if you don't know why I was an 8-year-old pothead, don't judge, because we can judge back, and you might not like how we judge you, but you know, I prefer not to. I'll stay positive, because let's face it, you know, the issue here is, you know, if you're not understanding your kid's ADD, and you're just kicking his ass because he's out of line and not paying attention to everything, you know, get off that trip. Try some understanding, you know. Try to find out what the kid likes to do and do a lot of that. And, you know, instead of beating him up and grounding him and, you know, punishing him for, you know, something that's just kind of natural to him. Anyway, we'll continue this some other time there. I'm about done. I got to hook the dogs up, and hope you like this one. It was kind of close to the heart, and you know, if you guys got anything to add, feel free to comment.